Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another Veve and Ecomi video. So I wanted to go a little bit more over the Omi token versus the Veve NFT collectibles for you all because people have been asking questions. So I'm not trying to sway anybody one way or another. I believe that they both are going to be successful. I believe that they have no choice but for both of them to become successful because of how heavily integrated they are. People like to bring up the argument, oh, the NFTs are safer or Omi is safer. Honestly, they're both in the same boat from my perspective, but this is just my point of view. Like I said, I see things just I like this. I like to be in the middle and just basically understand both sides so I can try to see things as clearly as possible. I like that's just the way that it is for me. So I support Ecomi. I support Ecomi, and I support Ecomi products. So I support both Veve, Veveverse. I support Omi token because I believe in Ecomi. So this is why I decided to invest in this. Because you got to think about it. Listen to the arguments. Actually listen to the arguments about why the Veve NFTs are the safest bet. Oh, it's backed by all these billion-dollar companies. It's like it's going to be safe because it's the first appearance on the blockchain of these IPs and things like that. Listen, regulation is coming for everything, and either you think that Ecomi can handle the job and they're doing it the right way, or you don't. But best believe it's much harder for them to protect the NFTs than it is for them to protect the Omi token. Why? Because they have full control over the Omi token. It's theirs. They can do whatever they want with it in whatever time frame it takes to get it done. When it comes down to these IPs, they have hundreds of different IPs and they cannot make a move without consulting with the IP first, which can take months. So that means a new regulation can come out. They need to contact 300 plus companies immediately and then wait for replies back and then reply back and then or just go out to meetings one at a time and try to. Dealing with regulation with NFTs is much harder than these people try to make it seem like when they're against the Omi token. Like it's ridiculous how simple they try to make it sound. Like, oh, I'm trusting the IP. I'm trusting. The fact that this is $1 billion brand is exactly what's going to make it so hard to manage and what's going to make it so risky. But at the same time, I believe that I believe the team can handle that. It's the same thing with the Omi token because you got to think about it. Everybody's saying regulations are going to come to the Omi token. When it comes down to dealing with an NFT, it takes Veve, the Veve team, Veve's lawyers, Disney or the IP, and the IP's lawyers. So this is 4 different teams of people that have to meet to get something done for an NFT. And that's if I'm not even missing something behind the scenes that I just don't know or understand. 4 teams have to be talking to one another to make something happen with an NFT on Veve. Now, that's for every single company. So that's 4 times 300 plus or whatever amount of freaking, licenses they actually have. So now they're meeting with hundreds of different teams of people. Yeah, so they're meeting with hundreds of different teams of people just to try and make sure that all the NFTs are on the up and up and following regulations and things like that. You don't know how long these responses take and stuff like that. They've already explained why securing license deals can take years. So if it can take years just to secure the deal, once you have the deal, more than likely you can assume that it's going to take weeks to months to make things happen within these brands. Now, if you have hundreds and hundreds of brands to contact to try and get this stuff, sorted out with, and then by the time everything is sorted out, you finally get to the last one, you finally sorted it out. What if regulations change again and something else has to be changed? Now you have to start that process all the way over again. This is the struggles of working with the NFT, while on the other hand, the Omi token, they have a full team dedicated to the Omi token. They have a full team focused on it, a full team studying the space, a full team ready for regulations to come to the Omi token. They're ready for regulations to come to NFTs as well, but the risky part is the fact that they have to talk to all the IPs before they can do anything. With the Omi token, if a new regulation comes out or something happens that they have to change immediately, they can make that change immediately. So I think that people are missing the true value of the Omi token because people don't take the time to actually understand it. Like, people think of it like, I just saw somebody who was talking about how it's on bad exchanges. Like, why would they trust the Omi token and things like that? I mean, you have to think about it this way. If the SEC goes after the Omi token, do you actually believe your Veve collectibles are safe? you realize Veve, yeah, Veve is important to us. Veve has done some historic things, but Veve is a nobody in the grand scheme of things. So at the point where the SEC goes after Veve, the headlines there is Disney affiliate. Disney is partnering with a company that's doing this with their token, that's scamming people, that like whatever the headline is going to be after the SEC goes for what word to go for Omi token, that goes right back to these big brands that Veve is affiliated with. This is why these big brands are a double-edged sword, and this is why they spent so much time building up their legal teams and making sure they were doing everything right. This is why it's important, because Veve is forward-thinking and forward-seeing. They know if regulation, excuse me, they know if regulation slaps down the Omi token and the SEC comes after them, it also hits the collectibles. That could literally be the end of Veve if the Omi token gets hit. Now, people think they see it as these two separate things. They're separate entities, to be fair, but that doesn't actually matter, because going after the Omi token could lead to all of these licensors jumping ship and abandoning ship, because it's just a bad look to be partnered with somebody going through that. Now, don't get it twisted. Some licensors, I'm sure would stay. But the big ones, as this drags through the media, the big ones are going to be the ones getting their names dragged through the media. So Disney, DC, any name that people would actually recognize. Now, I have no doubt in my mind, all the decon artists would probably stay on board, you know? But, and not no disrespect to nobody, I'm just saying, there's levels to this. You have global brands, and then you have personal brands, or you know, smaller brands. So that's the perspective that you have to look at these things from. Everybody's trying to sell you one way or another. I'm not trying to sell anything. I tell you all what I do based on me taking the time to actually fully understand what's going on, analyzing the situation, and seeing what I believe is the best move. So when it comes down to my decisions and my choices that I make, I have no problem making a move today that's going to only benefit me 10 years from now, because I'm a long-term investor anyway. I don't have to care if the collectibles pump next week or next month. That doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I can wait 10 years because this was always about retirement for me. I was always planning. This is why I do YouTube videos. This is why I do so many YouTube videos. I'm working. I've always planned to make my own money and go hard myself for the next 10 years at least. So yeah, man. It's just really about taking the time to understand what's going on and taking the time to really think things through. Don't just listen to people out here trying to spin their own narratives and things like that. This is why I don't like the follower mentality. You shouldn't be following anyone, not me, not nobody. You should be listening to the information that's being presented and thinking on it yourself and applying this information to your situation. No one else can make a move that's beneficial for you. Everyone's sitting here trying to understand my moves and things like that, which is understandable. If you support me, if you supported the content, you supported the channel, you want to kind of know where my head's at when it comes down to the things that I'm doing. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not in my situation, you don't know what I'm capable of. You don't know my skill set. You don't understand the things that I understand. Like, you're never going to be able to see the things that I see. And this is where it comes to the point where some people are trying so hard to focus on me or someone else that they're missing the bigger picture, which is themselves. Because the fact of the matter is, if you've never, like, YouTube is hard for some people, right? It takes people years to grow a following, years to get thousands of subscribers and things like that. Literally within 7 days, I've gained over 1,000 followers on a new project that I'm working on. I'm averaging around like $100 a day in income already. And I have hundreds of thousands of views on a new business that I just started. And that's just the first stage of developing this business. That is what I've already been able to do while other people struggle for years to do it. It's just different levels that people are at, and then understanding what it takes to do certain things. It's not you can't just follow another person. Your strength, what's really going to be able to make you money, what's really going to be able to change your life, the answer to that lies somewhere within you. What are you good at? What is your risk tolerance? Are you patient? Are you a patient person? Because the fact of the matter is, no matter how much you love Veve, if you're an impatient person, you have to do one of two things. You have to either slow down hold your emotions in check and become more patient, or you probably shouldn't be invested in Veve. It's going to take a long time for everything to happen. Before these NFTs blow up and go mainstream, NFTs have to be adopted and become the norm. Regulation has to be there. You need the same thing for the cryptocurrencies. The world is moving in that direction and nothing is going to stop it. But if you're not patient enough, you're going to be expecting moves to happen in the short term, mid-term, that it just really does not make sense for this stuff to happen without a bunch of other things happening. So before collectibles moon, why would people be buying into NFTs with the SEC going after all these NFT projects? Why would anyone be buying in at these large amounts? They're more than likely going to wait until regulation is clear. And someone said with the Omi token, they wouldn't be buying the Omi token until after the Ripple lawsuit is over. Some people have that perspective, and I get it, but the reason that I invested is because I invested in the team. I believe that they have taken the proper precautions and steps to protect this project. If Veve gets hit, if the Veve collectibles and NFTs get hit, the Omi token dies. If the Omi token gets hit, Veve dies. They're intertwined and linked regardless of if people see that right now, if people understand that. If you really take the time to understand this project, you'll know these things are linked. So the fact of the matter is, the way that this was designed is for these things to coexist. Everyone's saying, oh, what if this company buys it? What if that company buys it? They will also have to buy the token because it's heavily linked and integrated into the project. They would have to buy the Omi token as well if Veve were to get bought out. And they have already said they're looking to acquire, not looking to sell Veve. And listen, like I said, Veve is experts at strategic partnerships. I don't know who's helped them make the Veveverse, but you can already see what the Veveverse is looking like. Whoever they have helping them, they clearly know what they're doing. The other partners, like, people just can't understand why big companies at this level would want to partner with Veve as opposed to just buying them. It's not for you to understand. Why are you stressing over something like that? It doesn't matter. They're working with Veve. And until the point where Veve is sold, it's just speculation. You can't just say because a company has billions of dollars, like, that doesn't mean that they have a vision. That doesn't mean that they have a vision, because Veve's vision could easily take over most of these companies, the Disneys, the Amazons and stuff that people think that, oh, you're crazy for thinking Veve could ever come close to them. Veve could easily take over these things, could start dominating in terms of, you know, the market caps and stuff like that. Like, Veve could easily dominate this stuff, but people don't see how, because people look at today, they look at, oh, look at the Omi token is here, look at this. They think about today and they don't think about where the world is going to be. They don't think about a world where we may not have green dollars as currency anymore. It may be fully based off of crypto. They don't think about that world. They don't think about a world where NFTs are the keys to get into your home. They're not thinking about a world like that. They're not thinking about a world where we actually have like rockets that are taking people to the moon, and this is a normal part of travel. They're not thinking about the future we're moving into. They're not thinking about virtual reality, a bunch of kids running around with these headsets and stuff on. They're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about where the things are going. You're thinking about where things are at and where they have been. And you're not going to get the whole picture because you're invested in a technology that's all about going farther. And you're only thinking about here and there. What about where we're going? And that's the big picture that everyone always misses, which is why I'm always more accurate than everyone, because I consider all three. I consider all three. I consider the whole picture. So that's what's important in my opinion as an investor. But this is just me, especially in an investment like this. People who invest in an investment thinking only about the present and the past, when it's an investment for the future, I think you have no idea what you're doing. No idea what you're doing at all. How are you going to invest in something for a future that you have no understanding of? When the team told you what they wanted it to be. If they sit here and tell you Ready Player One, you can say all day long, oh, they can't do this, they can't, they told you. And then when they sit here and reveal the Veveverse and everything aligns with Ready Player One, people, I mean, we all was heated and happy and stuff like that, but while I was happy, it didn't come as a shock because that's all in Ready Player One. I've made clickbait videos about that for a year, you know, like, and that's the first thing a lot of people was saying. They were like, yo, Cavell has been talking about this for 2 years at this point. Like, yes, I have. Because a year ago, that's when I first started looking to where we would be today. And today I'm looking to where we're going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That is what I invest for. So people see me make a move today and they don't understand it because they're basing the moves, the type of moves that they would make off of these next couple of years. I base the type of moves that I'm making off of 10 years plus. Different mindsets, completely different mindsets. So yeah, I just wanted to break this down for you all, give you a different perspective, shed some light on this so you all can make the best decisions that fits you. Stop listening to random people. Stop listening to anybody. Listen to yourself and trust yourself. If you cannot trust you as an investor, you're not going to make it in this space and you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to lose. Like, people can say what they want about me. People can hate my ego, any of that. The fact of the matter is, as much as people hate me, as much as people try to bring me down and stuff like that, I have not been able to be stopped. And I was able to sell everything in the middle of a bear market and be heavily in profits, then start a business, and the business is already successful. You can say what you want about me. I can't be fucking stopped. And that's because I know who I am. I accept who I am, and I don't care what anybody actually thinks. I'll sit here and argue with people when I'm bored, but at the end of the day, when it's time to work, it's time to work. And that's why I ain't been arguing with nobody and stuff lately. I've been working. So yeah, I just wanted to give you all a perspective and let you all understand. All I have ever tried to do here is give you all my perspective, give you all a different point of view, and give you the information that you need to create your own perspective and do what's best for you as an investor. What other people are trying to do is shill you things, get you on their side because they need you as extra liquidity and things like that. I don't need anybody for that. I don't need to use anybody. My exit is 10 years from now. People try to accuse me of pumping stuff all the time. Like that. Why am I trying to pump something that I'm only cashing out in 10 years? Like, it makes no sense. So yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got right now, man. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Hopefully you understand the video. Hopefully you find it helpful. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, fam.